Hello and welcome once again to Mech Warrior Online, the Supersmacky edition. Today, there's just a few things I want to go over. I apologize that there hadn't been some of these videos up in a few days. I've been working on some other things. The cinematic little trailer I did for the channel, putting Splatter Day together, uh, the Friday Night Fights footage, I think I uploaded. Can't remember now. Anyway, but just a few things in game to go over. I want to remind everybody Mechtoberfest is going on. PGI is sponsoring a really easy event. You just got to log on every day, get at least one match with a match score of 80, which is really easy to accomplish, and get a kill most damage in each weight class of mech. Now, me and the guys have been doing this pretty much every night since it started. It generally takes less than an hour, sometimes a little more, but not by much. There is some variation there, but it's worked out pretty well. Plus, you're getting the drops anyway, and the C bills. It's worth it in the end. The MC, the C bill payout, the little cockpit items. It's a nice little thing. I highly encourage you to participate. There's not as much derpiness going on with this as you might see in some of the other events. Also, following on the trail end of this is going to be the customer appreciation that PGI is doing. Right at the very end of this, middle of October, the 18th, I believe. So that's going to be coming up. We want to let people know who may not have logged into the game that the Viper chassis, the Clan Mech, is now available for MC, and the Phoenix Hawk is available for C bills in game. Also, this coming Friday night, Friday Night Fights, we've worked out a little more what we're going to be doing, and we're kind of, it's an evolution of what I originally talked about with a particular chassis or whatever. It's sort of within that theme, but what we're going to do is essentially theme drops for the duration of it. So, for instance, this Friday is going to be medieval and fantasy. So I'm going to put a list in the description of this video for what mechs qualify as that. If you want to participate, and I get some good video, I'll post it up with you in it. Be happy to have you. We have the TeamSpeak available. Just hit me up in game. Usually on Fridays, that begins about 8 p.m. Eastern time, more or less. But of course, if I'm on earlier and you're on earlier and you want to group up, that's fine. Also, cinematics. I really enjoyed doing that. I've got some really positive feedback on it. So my plan going forward is that once a week, I'm going to try and turn out one of those. Now, I don't want it to become redundant. I don't want the same sort of thing to keep popping up and it just be like, okay, here's another one of these. So it may take a little bit longer. Plus, I need to do some work on catching some clips like in private matches to help set up themes. But as much as possible, I'm going to try and produce those. Like I said, I really enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope there's going to be much more to come. So anyway, enough talking. Let's go ahead and get on to the matches.
Highlander online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Okay, so for this first drop, we're on Crimson Strait. I'm in my Splat Crow, and the match mode is Domination.
His eyeball is slightly off. It's bugging me.
Yeah, a little jerk. Early here in the match, Tekurn, Waffle, and I decide to go ahead and check out the tunnel, see if anybody's pushing there. see what's underneath the platform, and try and help determine what's going to be the best course for the rest of the match. Now, initially, it's just us three down there. Eventually, some enemies show up, but we're peeking, and there's a few scattered around. To the right, you can see the one, and apparently there's a couple more to our left front. I can't see them at this point. We start to ease up a little bit. Don't really have the strength between 3 mediums to try and push in there, but then we get some additional assistance coming up, starting with a Shadow Cat that decides to push out.
Ugh. Go get him, Shadow. Go get him, Kodiak.
So what's the deal? We storming the bottom or what?
That's a planet.
Sounds like a yes to me. No breaks.
Now, when we came out, there actually ends up being a lot more down here than I believe we initially intended on, but I think our speed of our attack made a difference. I kind of get caught up in chasing the squirrel here. It probably was a bad move initially to run off my teammate, but it ends up working out because I follow this ice bear up top, missing badly with some of my SRMs, and it ends up that our Jenner up there needs a little help. So I go ahead and help deal with the situation up top. After this, it's going to put me in a great position behind the enemy line.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
So I look around once that's dealt with and realize there's nothing else up top, not a lot I can do there. So I decide to go ahead and peek up on this end, and this is the very back part of the enemy line. Right below me, you'll see this Mad Dog who is unaware that I'm there. So go ahead and pump in some SRMs, come around on that open side, blow it off.
I don't know, I'll say the same.
He decides to pay attention. Of course, he's fairly neutered at this point. And I'm going to take another shot here, and he goes down. Stormcrow got a little hot, but I was able to take that heavy out of the match. So at this point, the team is at 10-1. We're doing very well. We're all in reasonably good shape. That Nova up top is about to either jump down or fall down. Not sure. I take a shot. Unfortunately, the Shadow Cat falls right in front of me. I didn't realize that my reactions weren't fast enough to not put the SRMs into him. But the Nova goes down. The Shadowhawk did, Shadow Cat did survive, fortunately. Really sorry to put all those rounds into him. It hurt him a lot more than I would have thought. Fortunately, it wasn't his back, so it didn't kill him. The only thing left is this little Shadow Cat of the enemy out on the end, and he's in the process of getting wrecked, and he's going to go down before the rest of the team can get up to him. Good match. We won. And really good scores.
Yeah, sorry about the friendly fire. Right as I hit the trigger.
I gotcha. No worries, no worries.
No KMDD for me.
Ooh, 57 damage.
Oh, goddamn. I'll be waiting a moment on that.
Oh, it was a full alpha in his back, man.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Okay, so here we are on HPG Manifold, playing Assault, and I am in my brand new Adder A, 2 SRM6s, 3 medium pulse lasers. It's a little hot, but it's very effective. It becomes a swirling match pretty quickly on, and really enjoyable. I liked when it kind of flows, the match is fluid like that. There's not a lot of stagnation, especially if the team is coalescing really good and working together. The adders are a little on the slow side for a light, but they're very tanky, have great loadouts. let's go ahead and watch how this plays out.
Shot it from the left side.
Target acquired.
They were just popping.
Oh, Gauss rifle. Excellent.
Oh.
I didn't want that torso anyway.
God damn it.
Okay, so early on in the match, I wanted to go ahead and move over to the right-hand side of our team on our right flank and check around, see if I can get a shot on anything, maybe take a snapshot or spot something for our team. I didn't realize at this point that there was a shadow cat actually come around behind me and to my right. I'm peeking, didn't look down at the radar, and all of a sudden I have incoming missiles. Don't realize where the spotter is or if there's a UAV. Turn around, up, and there I see him. The angles that the enemy had for firing their LRMs was allowing me to be hit even down in this trench. So I back off a little bit to try and avoid some of that missile fire. I noticed that one of my friendlies is in there fighting with that shadow cat at that point. So I go ahead and push around to try and help end him.
New target acquired.
I'm here for you,
Warning,
Grant.
incoming missile.
Alright, we got Hotel Dire Wolf and Echo 5.
Warning, incoming missile.
Golf, King Crab.
Left
So we're
arm
starting to chase him off here,
ahead.
putting some good damage in. I get a notification more missiles are coming in, so I duck behind the wall just to avoid
target
being hit.
destroyed.
By the time I come back around, my friendly
Yeah,
there
we
has
have-
finished him off. I see where a lot of the enemy
Looks like
are. I
they're
check
cornering
behind
up
us,
in,
and
box
then
5,
there's
Echo 5 corner.
Locust, so he deserves my special attention, and I take off after him. This is the part where it's about to become that swirling battle that I was talking about. The Locust is in the backs of our teammate. He's trying to be a distraction. And I don't want that to go on because we're having really effective results against the rest of the front line. Don't want it to suddenly be distracted. So we start
push
working
down into
over
Fox
this
5, target
Locust
Alpha.
here.
Start pushing down.
He makes a couple runs around, but he's getting beat up
Up on the left,
pretty
Warhawk.
good. So he starts to make a run back to his team. Come back around. There's an Arctic cheetah here.
Acquired.
So he gets a little of
Yeah,
attention.
hotel.
You put some shots
yeah,
on
good
him.
flash.
Now,
Good
I
flash.
don't know what the
Back on
Centurion
off.
was thinking. I think he thought he had an open flank and he was going to come around here
Keep pushing through onto
and
Lima.
be able
push
to
through onto Lima.
deal with whatever was over here. Unfortunately, it goes really bad for him. I'm able to stay behind him for the most part, and even when he turns around, he's not in great shape. Throw in some
We're gonna
SRMs,
keep moving
and he goes
counterclockwise.
down pretty quickly.
New target acquired.
India.
When I come around to the E6 ramp, I notice that Locust is still running around. I take a little snapshot at that guy, but he's already dead. That Locust is trying to get back around on the rear end of the team. He's dropped down in here, and I'm kind of tired of his antics at this point. And so as he runs up to the wall, I just push in, plaster him against the wall to help hold him there, and finish him off.
SRM ammo destroyed. SRM destroyed. Heatsink destroyed. Target destroyed.
So as you can see by the score, it's 11-3 now. The enemy is pretty much dealt with. There's one running around. We find out in a couple of seconds here that he had no weapons left and he was running off. I went ahead and started going out this way, figuring either the guy might be out this way, he might be a DC, or at the very least I can go stand on their base. He gets hunted down and killed in
Enemy
pretty
base is being captured.
quick order to finish off the match, and yet another victory. Good job by the team. I really enjoyed that combat.
Yeah, that was
Got a
funny.
little beat up, as you can see by my paper doll there, but good, effective work, good teamwork,
feel like I did
solid
decent damage,
battle.
but didn't
Really
get
enjoyed
killed.
that.
Not as much as I thought.
KPH.
They'll just send one locust after us, and that'll be the end of us.
Systems online.
Anyone
Weapons
KPH is decent enough for
online.
the heavy.
All systems
Yeah.
nominal.
So in the last match, we're in Crimson Strait
My
again.
jump sets aren't
It
working
is
well.
Conquest. I'm in my Adder B, and for some reason, Tekurn, Waffle, and Marcus decided they wanted to go with the trial mech
Why
version
did the light
of
run
the
away
dragon
from the
during
cap
this
point
match,
and make all the
which
assaults
I can't
stand
remember
on it?
everything it has. I know it has a Gauss
pro.
rifle. When it gets later, we get silly. But
Shouldn't have.
surprisingly, things go really
Stop.
well and really our way. We'll go ahead and watch how this plays out.
My team is on. They're doing group drops. So
Your team.
yeah, the group I'm in, they're doing group drops. So I'm probably gonna drop after this one.
Alright.
When I get to the top, I briefly walk through
That's
Kappa
okay, it's
there.
kind of
and
good
checking the
stuff working
saddle.
anyway after this.
I'm a slower light. There are others coming up
Don't
behind
say
me who
that.
can take that point.
Never
I'm a
do
little
that.
tankier and heavily armed,
Jeez.
so I want to go ahead
getting
and
close to
check
that
this
time.
E5 corner. A lot of times with seismic, you can either tell if they're building up beyond that ridge line or see if they're down there at theta, what kind of mech set they're running. So I wanted to go ahead and
Yes,
get
go scout for me,
position
Raven.
to
Go.
be able to give sort of an early
No,
warning
not
to
this
our
one. Go
team.
with the saddle.
And right away, there's a shadow cat running around down there.
Is the cap point up top or down below?
Up top.
Now, I end up spending most of the match in this position. They never push
You
up
got a pro
over the
team, yeah.
ridge line. They never threaten my flank. I'm able to take shots, back off, move back up. The battle mostly happens right down below in front of me. It's able to be contained in that area.
Keep going.
So there was no reason for me to really have to shift. I don't really get hard pressed. That in the early stages of the battle is about the most damage that I take just from long range fire, but I'm able to dish out a lot to the enemy from this position. So while it was
Walk in
working
front of
for
me.
me, I went ahead and stayed.
Yeah, don't walk in front of this mighty dragon.
Yeah, man.
Get obliterated on the spot.
New target acquired. New target acquired. Heat level critical.
Oh, my heat level.
Target destroyed.
God, Jenner.
Yes, dragon.
Target acquired. New target acquired.
See how well this is working.
I did over 100 damage.
Nice.
I'm sure the dragon is okay
Target
if
acquired.
it wasn't that build.
Now, in a few moments here, I overheat. I've been firing almost constantly since I moved in this position with very few breaks, but the enemy don't seem interested in pushing up there, so it was a low-risk overheat.
Heat level critical. New target acquired.
Haha! Direwolf.
Yay! I
So
dropped down
finally,
this
the
third
area
ball.
below us is not quite the targeted rich
Waffle's
environment
doing
it
right now.
was. There is that shadow cat that I can see running around down there, so I'm taking a few shots at him. He's pulling back into the building, throws a few lasers at me, but not really effective fire.
3
I
kills.
want to try and get an angle on him, so I start around this hillside, throwing some AC5s in.
Dragons.
He keeps backing off. His team has mostly left him going underneath the building, so I swing around out to this right. I don't
Oh.
see him,
Almost.
and so I go ahead and move down into that little city area to see if I can pick him off. See some shots going that way from the team,
It's 3 on 3
so I know he's back here somewhere.
Now you have to
Start
fight him
looking
fresh.
around.
I know.
Can't find him initially until I start getting shot in the back. So I swing
They're
around
above
this
you.
corner, reverse, and go back after him because now I know he's close, and I also know he's in pretty bad shape. He's trying to run off here. I thought he was going to come around the rock on the
Oh,
left,
God.
so I tightened up and came around the corner, but it looked like he was trying to
Oh,
open
well.
the range. Didn't notice his buddy initially behind him, so I start to head
3-on-2
back towards the rest of my team to finish off the last few.
CT.
In a moment, I take more shots to the back, get a little
Careful your side torso.
ignorant for a
Yeah.
minute and not paying attention
Center
to what's
torso,
going
too.
on. Pump a few shots in, but then I see that shadow cat coming up behind me.
Wait a minute.
He's not in great shape. Work on him a little bit, but overheat once again. This adder is pretty hot build, but now my team's with me. They're taking some shots at him, so he has to keep moving. His fire's not so effective, and he gets taken out pretty quickly.
That Hellbringer's the last one.
Target acquired.
What? So good.
And with that Hellbringer going down, there's no more enemies. Now it's just a matter of making sure that we get the caps. It's pretty close anyway.
I'm going epi.
The
Oh, we've got
game's going to
that.
have to take a moment
Yeah,
here
it's
to
like
determine,
Epsilon or
yeah,
something.
there's no way they can
Yeah.
win,
Oh,
and
there we
it's
go.
going to give us
Yes!
victory. Good match all
Yeah,
around.
that's right, right?
My
I wanna see how much
positioning
damage I
ended
did.
up working very
Wow,
well
you
for the
guys are doing
team,
really
just
well.
from a suppression standpoint. Maybe not as much damage as some of our big brawlers, but decent
4
damage,
kills,
472,
569, a solo
3 kill
kill,
most
2
damage
KMDDs.
dealt. The assists, solo kills, ended up
So,
being an
so
excellent
much XP
match.
that I won't be able to use. Look at our lands. The kills and the damage.
Not me.
Well, we'll
I got
just
7
block that out.
assists.
Well, I really hope that you enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun. Those were some of the clips from when we were working on getting our kill most damage dealt for the Mechtoberfest. Also played a couple of those in my new adders I just picked up the other day. Have to give a shout out to Kanajashi. He did a video the other day where he ran one, and I never really considered them before just because they're a little slower of the lights. But after seeing that loadout that he did and some of the gameplay, I decided they looked pretty nice. Plus, they're on sale right now, so I figured why not go ahead and pick them up. I have 3 of them now. This is just one of them on the screen here. Really have enjoyed them, and plan on playing a little more with them. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and share and subscribe. Please feel free to leave comments. Your questions and your feedback are greatly appreciated. And as always, in all of your gaming, good luck and have fun. Bye-bye.